The RotoGrinders Daily Fantasy Football Podcast is presented to you by Yahoo Sports Daily Fantasy. Again, check them out this week 12 where we've got our baller contest back. It's $200,000 total prize pool, $20K going to first place, $10 entry. And remember, you can now mass multi-enter on Yahoo, and you can do it using our Lineup HQ tool over on RotoGrinders.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gillcast, simulcast on the Sports Grid Fantasy Football Podcast and on the RotoGrinders Podcast Network. I'm Davis Maddock. You guys can find me on Twitter at Davis Maddock. I'm joined by Sammy Reed, Nate Knowling. I guess good news for all you assholes out there who enjoy when we lose money, because guess what? Sammy and I lost money. I'm pretty sure I made a Galaxy Brain late swap that cost me money. I think if I would have not swapped, I would have been fine.
Why did you swap? You would have been totally fine.
Well, we can talk about that in a little bit, Nate. Why don't you not put the horse in front of the cart? And actually, I think I would not have, because the swap was, in the end, it only ended up being like 5 points, and I was further away from that. And I played a 1K against a guy who had one of the worst lineups I've ever seen last week, but his lineup was just straight up good this week. So I regardless of I didn't have another 1K out there. So if I was going to lose that game. And so pretty much regardless, I was going to be break even at best on the week.
I think in fairness, Davis, last week you did lead. You just wanted to get right to Nate playing 4 wide receivers and none of them being Christian Kirk. And I think he's just asking that you do the same thing for yourself here.
Okay, yeah. I Galaxy Brain late swap off of Josh Jacobs and the Cardinals defense, because Josh Jacobs was going to be, wasn't he the highest owned player? I would assume
70%.
Yeah. So I just needed someone to outscore him. So I took a home running back for a 10-point favorite in a pace-up game. And I will be honest, I'll probably never roster Tevin Coleman again after this game. Like, he is just... And you know what's sick is the Bengals defense, which I also late swapped onto, because I figured, okay, well, if I'm trying to fade Josh Jacobs in this, I should be trying to. The Bengals defense actually had 4 sacks. They had 9 DraftKings points. Like, they ended up being one of the best points per dollar. That's why. And Jacobs only got 17. Now, Jacobs ran excruciatingly bad to only get 17. He should have scored twice. And I believe he had the 100-yard bonus and then lost a yard. So I believe he should have had like 30, really.
Wait, did he lose the bonus?
No, he ended up getting it back. Just so everyone's aware, there was a point around 3:32 p.m. Pacific time where Davis texted us, "I will suck a penis if Tevin Coleman for a Tevin Coleman touchdown."
You know what they did instead on the goal line, though, Sammy?
Oh yeah,
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
They didn't use Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson caught a 25-yard touchdown pass. What they actually did was they just lined up Ross Dwelly, dude.
Oh my gosh, Sammy, you don't get to tilt at all this week, even though you lost money, because you had to literally explain your Dwelly play. It was terrible, and you got 2 touchdowns out of it.
That is incorrect, Nate. The 49ers tight end position leads the NFL in Whopper. I don't know if you've heard of Whopper, but your family can eat it. Your family. This
is legitimately disgusting me.
And he got 7 targets in Kittle's stead last week. And Arizona's really bad at defense. I don't know if you've seen the flow chart, Nate. There's a flow chart floating around the interwebs, and you just play tight ends. I mean, I thought it was an easy play, actually.
Yeah, if I would have played Jacobs, I would have cashed. If I wouldn't have swapped, I would have cashed.
And Jacobs should have gotten 28.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There really was no way for me to forecast a pretty heavily owned Mohamed Sanu just completely dusting. Like, everyone in the late games who was like Miles Sanders dusted. That was the big thing. Is I also thought Miles Sanders was going to be chalked, and he basically just matched Brian Hill.
Yeah, I mean, who could have ever foreseen that a wide receiver for New England would not get a bunch of fantasy points. So it's not Julian Edelman.
Okay, well, we can get into that when we talk about wide receivers a little bit later, because I had Sanu for a while and got off of it, and I can talk about why. So actually, I'm pretty sure this is the first week all year we all played a different quarterback.
Yeah,
you say that every week, but yeah.
Well, most weeks you and I play the same quarterback, I feel like, and then Nate plays Jameis.
And
I just play Jameis and make money.
He just plays the optimal quarterback.
Guys, DFS is simple. You play guys like Jameis and you make money.
Dude,
I'm tilting.
I really don't want to do this with you, Nate.
I am tilting.
I actually, honestly, if you had won with Ross Dwelly, I would have just made you guys do the show. I would not have been able to be here for you strutting your stuff with Ross Dwelly.
I mean, there was never any danger of you doing that. I played Jeff Driscoll and Ross Dwelly, which were like the two sharpest plays on the slate.
Literally the two best points per dollar plays of the whole day.
And yet I wasn't even close to making money today. That's how big of a fish I am. Like, the world's second biggest fish is the whale shark. It's 40 feet long. It weighs 20 tons. And the world's biggest fish is Sammy Reed. These are just scientific facts.
So I paid, what was it, $2,900 more for my quarterback? No, $3,100 more for my quarterback than you paid for your quarterback.
Yeah.
So I played Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but I just lit all that money on fire, so who gives a damn?
So I played Lamar Jackson, and I thought there were 3 plays at quarterback this week, and Nate played none of them. I thought it was Driscoll, I thought it was Kyle Allen, and I thought it was Lamar. And
Allen was a bad play. Kyle Allen was not.
Was he?
It was Driscoll, it was Winston, or it was Lamar. Those were the 3 plays.
Gotta throw Winston in there.
Winston's always in there.
You just got to jam in $6,500 Jameis Winston. I think he was more than that this week, I think.
No,
he was 65.
Yeah, when you have the optimal quarterback, you just have to play.
Yeah, when he just plays so optimally. When you can play a quarterback in cash who will routinely throw 4 interceptions, I think you get that guy in there.
Yeah.
Davis, you should watch the tape because like one of them.
Oh my!
Oh, he just dropped the tape on you. This is the worst.
Literally, Davis.
when Nate wins with a play that's like not good, I'm so mad. No, I can't even, dude.
Dude, Nate is just so mentally strong. I mean, what can you say about him?
Nate,
here's
the thing about Nate. He doesn't hand build his lineups like one of us frail, mentally weak people. He just looks at the numbers and he's able to figure out that Jameis Winston at 6,500 was better than Josh Allen, for example, at quarterback. He decided that that was a thing to do. And Nate, I mean, just talk me through playing Jameis over Josh Allen. Seriously, give me a defense for that.
I mean, it's pretty easy. I think at the end of the day, Jameis is one of the highest volume passers of anybody on a week-to-week basis. He's got an incredibly high floor just because there's like no way he's not going to get a 300-yard bonus, and he has 2 of the best wide receivers in the league when it comes to converting touchdowns. Lattimore was out. I thought Evans was going to eat, and he had this was just a game where I wasn't going to not play Winston. At 6,500, he was even further away from guys like Lamar this week. So I thought everybody else was priced up. I mean, Lamar was priced up to – I love Lamar, but he was 7,700, which is just – I'm not going to pay that for quarterback.
He'll be $8K next week.
Yeah. It was either Driscoll, Lamar, or Winston for me. I need
Lamar to be priced up to a level that I am not interested in playing him in cash, which I think the 8 would be good.
Bro, 50% owned Lamar was.
Yeah, it's nuts.
50%.
Lamar's a GOAT. I'm not going to make fun of you for playing Lamar.
Here's the thing, dude. He literally has ran bad 2 weeks in a row to not get 40. Like, seriously? Yeah. First of all, against Cincinnati, he legitimately should have had 50 if they were able to be competitive at all. And then the same thing happened this week. Robert Griffin like Robert Griffin at the end of the season is going to have played like 8 total quarters because Baltimore just keeps destroying these teams by so much. Like it's miserable to sweat, obviously. And then, I mean, Nate, did you see this coming at all with Houston? Just like the total like nothingness from them?
Well, Baltimore is like better defensively now than they have been all year. They're finally like fully healthy. They're like firing on all cylinders. So I think that was always a possibility, but I didn't see it this bad. Watson was rough. I was not expecting it to be that bad.
It was like crazy.
But you have to realize like Lamar can literally, he just doesn't need to be used in the second half. You're paying $8K for a quarterback.
The spread was 3 points, 3.5.
Yeah, it was a bad line.
Baltimore can just do things where he can literally be game scripted out by the second half.
Well, do you know what actually happened? They got down 10 points and they did not change their game plan. They just kept running the ball. Like they threw 2 deep passes when I was watching the whole game. Like, how were you not I don't know.
They just smashed and smashed until Carlos Hyde finally got his touchdown.
Literally. Yeah, it seems like Bill O'Brien was just like, that's all I want to do. All I want to do is somehow get Carlos Hyde his long run of the game because he's going to finally get one.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien had Hyde in a GPP, 100%.
Yeah. So that was, I don't like whatever. I feel pretty good about playing Lamar. Like,
I mean, Winston had 51 passing attempts. I don't like
Lamar.
I'm about to reach through this video screen.
Yeah. Jameis was not. I mean, he was not in our top 1,000 optimals.
Well, then people are missing something. The guy who continues to just have the highest passing floor on a week-to-week basis, and people don't.
I mean, just if you even want to make that argument, he was projected for 2.5 points worse than Watson, who was $300 more expensive.
I just don't understand what people are.
What you think that Jameis Winston is a better fantasy asset than Deshaun Watson?
No, I mean from a rushing perspective.
But they were $300 apart, and you were acting like Jameis was the slam dunk play over him.
No, I'm saying from a pure passing volume perspective, Jameis has week to week one of the highest passing floors, and obviously Lamar, Watson, guys like Mahomes, everything else like that will always add some with their legs that Winston normally doesn't. But I don't understand how people don't look at what Winston does like from a volume perspective and just go, I want the guy who's going to continue to throw that many times. Like Jackson literally has the last 3 games has thrown 24 passes.
I'm pretty sure Mitch Trubisky threw 40 times on Sunday night, and it did not make him a great play. I don't know if he cracked 10 DK points.
Please don't compare the Chicago Bears to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Like it's a completely different offense.
It's not though. It's not yeah, Jameis is better than Trubisky, but it's not like Jameis is just locked into 25 DK points a week. It's just not how it works.
I mean, he's going to continue to throw massive amount of.
All right, you're tilting me too hard. We're moving to running back. I can't do this anymore. So we all played Brian Hill.
I didn't. I played CMC McCaffrey, or I played CMC Sanders,
Jacobs and Sanders.
Yeah, I told you Hill was better, or Sanders was better than Hill at like 9 this morning.
Wow, they separated themselves by like 1.5 PPR points. It was really sharp of you.
I mean,
can we kick Nate off the show? Can we just do the rest of this without him?
I'm so down. We have a 2-1 vote on this.
I cannot handle it.
I mean, here's the thing. You need to have Brian Hill back on the take cast, bro. I
need to have Brian Hill back on the take cast, and I need to say, you know what? You do suck. It's not a bit. You really do suck, dude.
It's not a bit, bro. It's not a bit anymore.
It is not a bit. This is a very surreal scenario for me to have someone on my podcast who took so much money from my family. Because not only did I play Brian Hill in cash, I had him at like 80% in GPPs. I was like, dude, this guy's not failing.
Oh dear.
And turns out he had
the optimal game script. Somehow Atlanta blew Carolina out of the water. They were ahead the whole game. Brian Hill had 15 rushes and 4 targets?
Yeah, 3 targets.
And 15 rushes and 3 targets. He
got more work in than Miles Sanders did.
Yeah, and his team scored 29 points. against a defense that just gives it up to running backs. And yet he scored like.
Here's the thing. When I told Fantasy Mansion that Brian Hill sucks, I was right.
It wasn't a bit.
It wasn't a bit.
It's not a bit, bro. 4.8 fantasy points. Dude, my family.
I think
who were your three? Because if you played Hill and CMC, then you had to fade.
No, I had Jacobs.
Okay, so you guys just faded Sanders. I thought Sanders was essentially similar to Hill, just slightly better
cheaper.
Slightly better from a target perspective and cheaper. So it was like, I'll take that guy.
So I thought Hill was way better because I knew that the team liked Boston Scott and had been giving Boston Scott a lot of work, so I was not surprised to see Boston Scott in the game. So I thought Hill was better. My pre-lock 2v2 was basically it was like Sanders and it would have been Dede Westbrook and Mohamed Sanu. Not that these are not like basically I decided that I did not want to play Debo, which I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It doesn't feel great to have not played 50% on Debo, who got 24.4 DraftKings points.
It doesn't feel very good, does it? Especially the week after fading Kirk when he blew up for 40.
Maybe we should just next week we should just see just play the good plays.
I would like to try that actually. I mean, I didn't think Debo was that good of a play. Honestly, I was pretty convinced.
Thought he was pretty thin with Sanders back.
Yeah, what is he? The third option on San Francisco, who is a huge favorite and likes to run the ball a bunch?
And yeah, a huge run pass split team. I guess the thing you could say is that it was probably a little bit naive from my perspective as someone that I think San Francisco sucks, and I think that the Cardinals are much better than their record indicates. Probably was a little bit naive of me to think that the 49ers were just going to stomp them in this game when we saw, 13 days ago that the Cardinals had a chance to beat them on the road.
Oh yeah, but I don't know, man. I didn't think it was a bad play. I just thought it was thin, and
I thought it was thin, and then I made two of the thinnest plays of all time.
Who did you think the second target was in San Francisco?
The running backs combined, just the running back, Coleman, Breida, Juszczyk, I thought.
Ross Dwelly, bro.
Yeah, I did not. That was not reflected in my projections.
Because I had Emmanuel Sanders at a 20% target share, Debo at 18, and then Dwelly, Goodwin, and all the rest of the guys way below that. So it was he was the 1A to Emmanuel Sanders.
We also had Debo at exactly 18%, and it gave him 11 DraftKings points, which was enough for him to make some optimals, but not close to the top optimals.
Yeah. So I thought Debo was fine. I just thought
he was fine. Yeah.
At 4K, there was no other wide receiver value that was even comparable.
So we'll wait. I guess we should talk about. We need to rewind here a little bit.
Yeah, I
gave Sammy a pass on this. Sammy somehow.
No. Let me get it out, bro. Let me get it out. My family needs this.
Wait, what happened?
Here's what happened, Nate.
Oh God.
Are you sitting down, Nate? Are you sitting down?
What did you do?
Okay, so oh God, I can't believe I have to say this out loud. Okay. Okay, so I played Jeff Driscoll and saved a bunch of money at quarter. I played Ross Dwelly and saved a bunch of money at tight end. But did I use that money to play Christian McCaffrey?
No, the upgrade you made is so bad. I can't wait.
I played Dalvin Cook.
But wait till you hear how he spends the extra money.
You got to have Jeff Driscoll to not get CMC. Did you go Thomas? Did you go Michael Thomas?
No, I didn't either. I'm so mentally weak.
This is literally the most mentally weak moment on the history of this show.
Bro, I was convinced that Dalvin Cook is a 10-point home favorite was a better straight value than CMC. And he had gotten 6.7 targets per game since Thielen had been out, a ton of work in the passing game. He was getting true bell cow work, and he was 1,900 less than CMC. And I just thought, you know what, it's just a better value, I'm going Dalvin. And now I'm poor. Now I'm broke. Now I'm like filling out online surveys all night trying to make some money back.
Dude, that's sharp. Filling out the surveys. Survey monkey, bro.
I may have to sell my dog this week. So like if anyone out there is looking for
I did just get a 110-pound Saint Bernard that eats a lot of food this week. I picked a really good week to just ship nothing in cash.
Yeah. Anyone wants a corgi, I'll give you a good deal. DM me for details.
So you want to know where Sammy spent that extra money, Nate? When I didn't even say anything about it just because I was like, Sammy's going to do what he's going to do.
I had no idea all morning.
Dude, all day. Listen. He paid up for the Carolina defense $3,000 in cash with that extra money.
Got to jam her in.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is that it only saved me $1,500 to get down to Arizona.
And you were just like, what do I do? I can't get to CMC.
Sammy's just playing a different game. Everybody all week is going, what do I do? CMC, Michael Thomas, what do I do? Sammy's like, you guys are idiots.
You guys are idiots. I'm going down to Carolina defense. Let it ride, baby. Let's throw some Sanu in there. It's lit. Narrator, it was not
lit. It was not lit. Wow. Things you love to see.
Yeah. So anyway, this is like the story of how I became homeless.
So you also had Jacobs and you also had Brian Hill.
That's right. Yeah.
So I guess we should talk a little bit about. Jacobs was like he ran super bad to not get 30 in this game. Should have scored twice. Derek Carr scored a short one. Foster Moreau scored a 2-yard touchdown. On average, he gets one of those.
Yeah.
Foster Moreau, Australian for cuck is what he is. Like, why don't you just run it to Jacobs? Like, they were at the 2-yard line like 3 times in this game.
Jacobs also had to sit out like 2 drives because Gruden punished him for his fumble that was tilting.
That's a fact. One time they were on the 1-yard line. They were about to give it to Jacobs, and they false started. Only it wasn't a false start, but they called it on the offense instead, and then Jacobs ended up not getting in.
Yeah.
It's tilt.
Davis, did you ever consider going 2 cheap running backs with Sanders and Hill, or was it always just Hill for you over Sanders?
So kind of what Sammy was talking about was like I did not like the Sanders over Jacobs 2v2s. Like I thought they were all really weird. The 2v2 I did consider was the right team, the team that my 1K played against me. And the team that was pretty duped at the high stakes, which was Lamar, Sanders, Hill, Jacobs, Michael Thomas, Debo, Sanu, Eric Ebron, Cardinals. That was the correct team. That was the mathematically correct team that I should have played. So instead, what I did was Christian McCaffrey, D.D. Westbrook, Kenny Stills.
How owned were D.D. Westbrook and Kenny Stills? Are they both
combined? They didn't get to 8%.
Man, I was feeling bad, but that's really bad.
Well, here's the thing.
I really the Stills thing.
I really did not think that Sanu was a good play when I realized that N'Keal Harry was going to be active, and that I was right about. N'Keal Harry basically took away all of Sanu's snaps and was playing on the interior, and like Sanu got moved to the outside where Sanu playing in the Philip Dorsett spot for $5,200, not a good play. Sanu for $5,200 playing like the fake tight end role that they've had in the New England offense without Gronk this year, good play.
Bro, I wish he played the Philip Dorsett role.
Yeah, he played the I can't believe the Patriots traded a second round pick for me role.
Yeah. What do you have? Two catches for 4 yards.
Yeah. And Debo, I really did not think I certainly did not project 24 DraftKings points. So obviously our stuff at Daily Roto liked Kenny Stills. Like we just really like him from a yards per target perspective. And I will say this. He alligator armed a touchdown. He had one and basically just was afraid of taking the safety hit. And so he just let it bounce to the turf, whatever that's worth. This is like,
you gotta watch the film. You got to know that the guy's not mentally strong over the middle.
Kenny Stills not mentally strong over the middle. And Dede, So Cardi's stuff really liked Dede, and I was talking to him about it, and he was like, dude, Dede is, we have the Jacksonville offense projected for all these passing attempts and yada, yada. And I totally thought he was right. Like, I was like, yeah, Dede Westbrook is just going to get 8 targets in this game. Like, that's just going to happen. And what happened is DJ Shark is just a GD alpha. He's not like no one else. Yeah, no one else in this offense matters. So the next time I say the name like Dede or any, like, just guys, just because I see Dede Westbrook at 4,500 and I'm just like, my eyes get like saucers, like one of those cartoon draw. I'm just like, that's a good play.
I would like to see Davis's overall like career exposure percentages. Yeah. I'll bet Dede Westbrook is your most.
Dede Westbrook's very high up there. Yeah.
Like, your number one player is Dede Westbrook. Nate's is Jameis Winston. What do you guys think mine is?
Oh, mine is David Johnson. Not close.
Okay. Sammy's is probably some weird tight end. Jack Doyle.
No. Jack Doyle's too expensive for Sammy, bro. Jack Doyle's like high threes. He can't go
Nick
that
Bennett.
high. Nate, it's really more of an art.
Davis, how does it feel to know that Dede Westbrook is third on the team in Whopper behind Chris Conley?
Well, Chris Conley gets deep targets, so.
I mean,
Dede Westbrook has an ADOT of like 4.7 and a catch rate of 50%, which is like a pretty good combo.
Even if your family could eat Whopper, Davis, they would still be.
Yeah, if they could eat Whopper, Dede does not have enough of it to go around.
Yeah, Shark is clearly the alpha on that team.
So I will say, this is like a.
I don't understand the Sanu thing. Help me on that. I didn't consider Sanu. I mean, Sanu wasn't even in like.
He played 100% of the Patriots snaps last week or 2 weeks ago. He saw 14 targets. I thought he was a good play. And I'm kind of lucky that I noticed that in Keel Harry, it was like not a big thing that Schefter tweeted that Harry was going to be activated and play for the first time. But like, to me, that signals, okay, he's not going to play 100% of the snaps. He's not going to be out there every down. I'm not nearly as interested in him.
You know, I personally just figured that I should pay $100, $1,100 more for Sanu than Deebo Samuel. I just thought that was like a really good idea. I was looking for ways to burn money, and I found a really optimal way to burn money. And that was it.
Well, I mean, I played freaking Boyd, so I feel like an idiot, but I didn't see Sanu.
I mean, did he have more than 3.2 fantasy points?
He did not. He had 2 catches for 0 yards.
2 catches for 0 yards, but he had a rushing attempt, so high floor.
So I would die for a rushing attempt.
Increases his floor.
Hey, so Dede Westbrook and Kenny Stills outscored Tyler Boyd? Just need you to know that, Nathan.
Yeah, that's fine.
How did your team win? I'm tilting.
Jameis, Jacobs, McCaffrey, Boyd, DJ Moore, Debo, Greg Olsen, Miles Sanders.
Oh, yeah, Debo. Yeah, that's how your team won. Okay. That was the only.
Well, who did you guys play?
I mean, I guess we should talk about DJ Moore, who I don't think Sammy played somehow.
Oh no, I played him.
Okay, all right. So Sammy, you this is where Sammy's team gets. I mean, just as me playing Dede and Stills was way off the beaten path. I'm just freaking Deebo Samuel, dude.
No, I played Evans. I played Evans, DJ Moore, and Sanu.
I thought Evans and Evans was fine. I must be missing something.
No, you're not missing anything.
No, you're not. What you're
he wasn't in my top 20 wide receivers.
I mean, he's not in my top 20 either. Like, I will never roster Sanu again. I can't believe I did it. Like, what was I thinking?
Nate, sharp people rostered Sanu. Like, it's not Sammy.
I don't know what I'm missing. I don't have.
He was 25% owned.
He projected so bad for me.
But the reality is 25% of people are stupid, and I'm part of that 25%.
So he was he was a value for us. Never mind. I'm messing with these team totals. Okay, no, he wasn't a value for us. He was like actually a horrible play. We had never mind. We had Debo projected for more straight up DraftKings points than Mohamed Sanu. I realized that I was doing GPP stuff and I had made the Patriots team total 10 points higher than Vegas, and Sanu still projected for only 14 points.
Oh my God. I'm like nauseous right now. You guys.
What site was it?
The podcast.
What site was it then, Davis? That was so
no projections. It was just all touting. It was all touting. It was touting in game logs.
Do you guys think because I wrote him up on my RotoGrinders column?
That's an FSWA award-winning column.
Read report.
I'm sending the awards back, bro. Actually, I'm just gonna sell them if I can get like a couple bucks.
Let me check Silva's website and see if they touted him. DFS plays. I bet they did.
I mean, I literally had him like nowhere.
Yeah, they should rename the site. Establish the number 5 option for the New England Patriots.
So we moved in Keel Harry basically from 0% market share of targets to 6%, and that drew a little away from Edelman, drew a little bit away from Sanu, drew a little bit away from Dorsett, and basically that just meant that Sanu was coffins, like he just wasn't playable.
This is also one of those tilting things where like Edelman is number 11 and Brady's 12 and like Dorsett's 13 and Sanu's 14 and Harry is 15, I think. And so
I think Harry is 3.
I think Harry's 15. Sammy, I think, just nailed that, which is impressive.
I mean, it's because I was watching the game the whole time, watching these guys like catch balls, and I'm like,
oh yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah, Sammy.
You're right. Wow.
Yeah, I'm tilting.
How much did you love the Edelman to Dorsett play then? When that should be the Mohamed Sanu gadget play?
Yeah, I figured one of them had to be Sanu. I was
like you think about a wide receiver throwing a touchdown pass, literally the first play that comes. I don't even think of the Philly special. I literally think of the stat that Mohamed Sanu, every pass he's thrown in his career has gone for a touchdown.
Yeah,
Sanu looked good blocking on that play.
He did. It was a good block. He might not have been on the field for the block, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
No, he was there. He had a nice close view of it, just like I did.
So here's the thing. Had I played the 2v2 that I was considering was Debo versus Sanu, or Debo Sanu versus Dede and Stills. And that combination outscored Stills and Dede, obviously, but it would have saved me doubly because I would not have had those bad scores from the early game and therefore would not have felt the need to swap. And it's just,
bro, your whole day was just a straight mess. Like one decision after another was really questionable. And this is coming from a guy that played Sanu and Gash.
No, I think every play I made other than these 2 wide receivers, I would make again. I don't think I made any bad plays other than those 2.
Tevin Coleman?
I mean, I had to swap.
You didn't have to.
If you had projected every player except for Debo in the late games to meet their 25th percentile projection, sure, then I don't have to swap. Like every player in the late game except for Dwelly and Debo was like horrible. Like no one got there. Like look at the players in the late game. Tell me who got there.
Josh Jacobs was
70% owned. And I had only him and a defense that was projected to score a very low number of points left.
Joe Mixon got there, and he was actually sharp because he was like kind of leveragey against Jacobs.
That
was the thing.
In the Philadelphia and New England game, no Patriot got there. 0% of Patriots got there. So I knew Sanu was going to be owned. Sanu got, as the aforementioned, no points. The only Eagle who got there was Zach Ertz.
How did you know Sanu was going to be owned?
Because all my buddies are out. Like, not all my buddies, but a fair number of my friends rostered him. So
was I
Sanders doesn't get there. Boyd doesn't get there. Like, I'm just saying, like, you see what I'm saying. I mean, it was close enough for the swap to be optimal, I thought.
Was I a fish for playing Boyd? What? I don't even understand how he gets 2 points.
Honestly, I don't really think so. I thought Boyd was
I thought Boyd was fine. I mean, I I don't really think Sanu was all that good, but I also played D.D. Westbrook and Kenny Stills, so maybe I what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, Boyd has been getting like 6 to 9 targets every game.
Right.
Oakland's defense is bad. They were supposed to be behind and having to throw. I thought he'd see 7-8 targets for sure.
At least I didn't play Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, that was a tough scene. I played him in GPP, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just? I need everyone who listens to this podcast. If you've ever for a second been one of those idiots who tried to argue that Curtis Samuel is better than DJ Moore, I just need you to hold an L. I got to give an L to somebody today because I gave very few L's out in my head-to-head contests. So please hold the DJ Moore L.
DJ Moore being 5 points away from the bonus was kind of tilting, or 5 yards away.
5 yards.
Tilting.
Yeah.
The dude got 15 targets.
He had 15 targets. I mean, come on.
Just nuts.
Kyle Allen, will he be in the NFL in 18 months?
Negative. Nate, tell me a little bit. You said a lot of people were considering Kyle Allen, and I considered him. But why did you think he was a bad play?
I just had him with a relatively low for his team total.
He has no ceiling.
Yeah, for his team total, I didn't have him for as much of a share of his team's like touchdowns than most people do. When it comes to guys like McCaffrey and stuff who are
he's 0% to get a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
And he even loses some of the wide receiver touchdowns to the Curtis Samuel rushing stuff.
Yeah, so I have him for a pretty low percentage of his team, where guys like Driscoll is the guy. Like, nobody is going to take Driscoll's workload from him in that offense or any opportunities.
You just can't take anything away from Driscoll. He's just too good. I mean, Driscoll ran for 51 yards and a touchdown. That was the reason I ended up deciding on him because he had the rushing floor. But obviously he ran.
Dude, he scored on a freaking zone read. Honestly, it was a cool play.
Yeah, that was good.
I made the biggest sports bet of my life on the Dallas Cowboys money line today, though. They were just not going to lose to Jeff Driscoll. So that actually did help suffer. It did actually help a little bit, the fact that it was at least carrying that in.
Yeah.
So whatever. Okay, tight end.
Better play than Allen straight up. So $700 discount. There was 0% I was to play Allen.
Bo Scarborough, by the way. This has nothing to do with DFS. I just love that guy, and I'm very glad an NFL team is giving him carries.
You mean Goat Scarborough?
Yeah.
Are we going to spend the rest of our fab in the Superflex on him?
Oh, the rest of our $0?
Yeah, because we already spent 60 something on Ty Johnson. I figure
44 on Ty Johnson.
Okay.
He was active today.
That is incorrect.
There we go. So tight end. Sammy.
I played Olsen.
Whatever, man. Do your thing, Sammy.
Dude, I mean, I don't even want to take a W because it's not.
Because you played the Carolina Panthers defense?
Yeah. I mean, what's. All right.
What were the Carolina Panthers owned in cash? Were they over under 1% owned?
3x 1% owned. In fact, I mean, so here's my thing. They were in that price range. I thought Washington was a good play. I thought the Jets were a good play, but I didn't have the 100 for the Jets.
Yeah.
And Carolina they were a 5.5 point home favorite, and they're third in adjusted sack rate, and Atlanta's line is really, really bad. And so I was like, okay, if they get up in this game, there's just going to be a bunch of sacks. And do the game script just fully went against them. And, I mean, they suck. And I suck. I mean, what else can I say? I should have just played Arizona, I guess.
Davis,
everybody played Arizona, and everybody played Deebo Samuel. And everybody's just sharper than me. What can I say?
I played Ebron, who I thought was the only play, and then I read a tweet mid-game that he was going off to the sidelines and vomiting because he was sick, and it was not reported on before the start of the game. I would have played Olsen.
Yeah, I played Olsen.
You had Ebron locked and loaded from the beginning. Why?
He led the team in targets last week. He led the team in targets this week until he stopped playing. and he is generally the first guy they go to pass in the red zone.
I think he played the whole game, didn't he?
He was rotating it. Like, they were up 20 points in the second half. So
he was rotating in, Nate, because he always rotates in because they have two tight ends. Like, why would you?
Well, Doyle was hurt all week, which I thought was kind of nice. And Ebron plays when it's important. It's the same thing as Mark Andrews. He's not run blocking on 2nd and 8. He comes in on 3rd down and in the goal line.
You got to watch the film, Nate.
That's not even the film. That's just
snaps for Ebron. I mean, anytime you roster a tight end who plays like 50% of the snaps, you just got to know when he's in those high leverage spots, you know?
Got to just grind the tape.
That's a stat. Like, knowing routes run is like, that's not grinding the tape.
Well, let me tell you something, bro. I'm going to just put it out there right now. The only W I can take today is it is egregious that you played Eric Ebron over Dwelly today. Egregious.
Sammy.
No, Sammy.
Talk about Dwelly.
Sammy, I don't know how to tell you this. Ross Dwelly's not George Kittle.
Dude, Ross Dwelly was literally a bad play, Sammy.
He wasn't a bad play, but he wasn't any worse or better than Eric Ebron.
Guys, Dwelly was a bad play.
No, he wasn't.
It's not true.
Nate, you taking, like, Sammy is taking the Ebron thing too far. You are taking like a $3,200. First of all three of us are bad anyways. Dallas Goedert was the correct play.
That's what I'm saying. Dallas Goedert is 3.2, and you played Ross Dwelly at 3.4. There was other players all around at 3.4 to play Dwelly because
Nate, we did the same thing. We both did not play the right play, which was Dallas Goedert.
Dude, Nick Boyle's a better play than freaking.
That is incorrect.
Why was the Eagles' number 2 tight end a better play than the Niners' number 1 tight end?
He played the whole game. They just didn't play a third wide receiver really, and they just played like exclusively 12 personnel.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Jeffrey was ruled out, I think it was fair to think that Goddard was going to see
it's like a situation where I actually did believe the beat writers, and they were all just like, oh yeah, Goddard's just going to play the whole game.
Fant was a better play.
Nope.
I mean, Fant was, dude.
Gesicki was a better play. Nope.
No, okay, you're just, Nate, you take it too far, bud.
No, I'm not.
Gesicki was not a better play than Ross Dwelly.
Yes, he was.
Well, Nate, did you saw that Dwelly had a 3rd touchdown taken off the board on like a questionable holding? Like,
Dwelly had 5 targets, and that was his ceiling.
He just should have straight goated. What do you mean? He had 7 last week. How is 5 his ceiling? Like, that is just a factually incorrect statement.
This is like...
No, Nate, you are getting owned by your own logic right now.
No, I'm so tilted that I think Dwelly is a good play.
How many targets did Olsen get? Like 5, 6?
5 targets.
Dwelly was a bad play.
He wasn't a bad play. He just was like a whatever play.
Yeah, it's a cheap tight end. But, Nate, the 49ers tight end leads the league in Whopper.
That's really stupid. That's the dumbest stat I've ever heard.
Okay. Let me drop some film on you real fast.
Okay, so, Whopper is not a positional stat. First of all, it's based around air yards specifically in
I know, mate.
Which is specific to the receiver.
Actually, like if you watch them play, they run a crap load of boot action, right? And they go directly to the tight end. They have so many plays that are directly for the tight end and only the tight end, like 1 read, 2 read plays on one half of the field. Dwelly gets a lot of those, and he got them last week. And I just thought, look, this guy played 90% of snaps last week. He got 7 targets. The 49ers are not going to completely go away from the tight end. Yeah, I know he's not Kittle. They're not going to completely go away from the tight end and change their whole offense because of this, and they didn't. And it was just sharp.
Yeah, but didn't you see that tweet about George Kittle wearing the Selleck Time T-shirt, though?
I saw it, and you almost got me off of him. But then I realized that Selleck was active in the last game. And he played like 11 or 14% of the snaps, and he's a blocking tight end. Like, it just wasn't it. When
is Ross Dwelly not a blocking tight end, Sammy?
High value targets. Dwelly's on the field. High value targets. High value snaps.
Dude, Ross Dwelly is one of the least athletic players of all time.
Hey, does it like bother you guys that I pick a cheap tight end every week and he always smashes?
It really tilts me because I don't think I've picked the good cheap tight end yet. And it's literally just gambling. Like, it's not like this is not a skill game.
This play specifically is tilting me so much. And Sammy, I don't even care who you play a wide receiver. The fact that you play Dwelly is like.
Let me give you.
I'm obsessed.
Nate, this is all I got, man. Just let me have it. Let me have it.
Would you guys like some Ross Dwelly stats?
Yes,
yeah, give him.
He's terrible, and I can't believe Sammy played him.
So Ross Dwelly, he is 237 pounds. It's pretty small for a tight end, so you'd think he'd be really fast, right?
Yeah, you think he'd be svelte.
He ran a 4.95 40 at his pro day,
Is that fast?
which realistically means that he ran a 40 time over 5 seconds.
all right, just tell me this. Could he beat David Kitchen in a 40?
Maybe if Kitchen was wearing his skinny jeans, and that's about it.
You just got to watch the film, man. Like
Dwelly went to a
You should have played Noah Fant. Noah Fant got 11 targets.
Yeah, Fant was he was like I had a lot of them in tournaments, so I didn't have any. I mean, I had some good tournament teams today, but I didn't win anything.
Fant is actually good because he's been getting a ton of targets since Sanders left. That's been
just a big shout out to
Goddard. He was such a bad play.
That is incorrect, Nate. Sorry to tell you.
He just wasn't. I don't think he was close to optimal, but I think he was fine.
Sorry, it didn't pop in your model, buddy.
Because he sucks.
Your model.
Can I tilt that Amari Cooper scored 1.7 DraftKings points today, and Dak Prescott was my highest owned quarterback, but Amari ruined all my lineups.
Oh, you didn't get any Gallup in there with him?
No, I did, but I double sack. When a quarterback's that expensive.
So you have to get that Zeke in there, like Zeke with the double stack.
Oh, dude,
touchdown is hot.
Okay, true or false? Ezekiel Elliott gets injured. He's out until next year. Dallas is the best team in the NFC.
Yes, Pollard's so much better.
I mean, they're a better team. Like Zeke is dust. Here's the thing you have to know about running backs.
Contract is going to go.
This is important, Nate. Always remember this. Running back is a young man's game. Like literally, after 3 years in the league, running backs are.
Brian Hill's in his third year. Should have been his day.
Yeah, but he's like 30 years old.
Yeah, Davis, you're going to have David Johnson on your podcast in 2 years like Brian Hill just because David Johnson's going to be dust.
David Johnson is dust. It's over.
David Johnson's like literally is going to retire like this offseason.
David Johnson was Adrian Peterson like 3 years ago. He was Adrian Peterson with hands, and now he's just dust.
You want to know, like, it's kind of sad, though, the way that things worked out for David Johnson is he really has only had the 1 year because he got hurt.
Only 8 games, right?
No. He had the full 16 game. He was the number one player in fantasy in 2016, but he got hurt in the first game in 2017, and then 2018 was the Josh Rosen train wreck year, and then damn, dude, that makes me sad.
All you people out there, sell your Saquon Barkley shares right now.
No, here's the thing. Anyone who owns Saquon Barkley in a dynasty, they're like, dude, he literally is going to transform the position. He's going to play for 10 years. So
Zeke is dust. Zeke is
at defense. I played the Arizona Cardinals. Thought they were the play. I had to swap. I swapped to Tevin and the Bengals, but the Bengals, by the way, got 4 sacks. Like I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to bing something here, and then they just Bengals it in the second half.
Defense doesn't matter. I played the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins. The Jets I thought were the best defensive play, but I didn't see a construction where they fit.
I thought Minnesota was actually the best.
With your Dalvin stack.
With the Dalvin stack.
And I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys, I didn't win any GPPs this week because I had Dalvin in Minnesota everywhere. Yeah.
Tough scene, man.
It was a real tough scene. I played the Panthers. I suck.
Sorry, bud.
I can't believe you faded CMC. He almost double bonused.
I mean, the good thing is, I'm like of average height. I'm like 5'10", so I think I'm eligible to sell sperm this week. And
anytime Sammy fades CMC, he just goes nuts.
Like literally, I think the last time where we both had him and Sammy didn't, it was the double bonus game.
I played James Conner instead of
You should have known when Nate and I both had him and you didn't that something was wrong.
I really should have. It was a sign. It was a sign, and I misread the sign.
You're like the number one jam CMC guy in. Like, what's the deal, dude?
Dude, I play CMC always, and I just thought, you know what? Like, I'm gonna crush this week by this super sharp take.
They left his price the same for next week, 10.5.
He had 14 rushing attempts and 14 targets.
Yeah,
seems good.
Dude, he's only getting like 5 targets a game lately. I was like, dude, it's his
dude, CMC, he's dust, bro.
No, I just thought his passing game role was a little overstated in a game where they should lead. And the game script in this game like really ended up just jobbing me in a lot of ways.
Sammy, he got 33.1 points without a touchdown. The dude is insane.
I mean, I'm just the most insane fish that there is.
He could have put up 45, like easy here.
I mean, he should be arrested for killing my entire family.
No, you did this. You were the man responsible. You did it. I told you this. I told you your team was bad before lineups locked. I was. I told you.
What did I tell you, David?
I gotta go look. At our group chat.
The sharpest thing that I've done is like muted our chat between 11 and noon, like as I'm building those last couple lineups. Because Sammy, some of those things that you guys send back and forth, and you guys are tweaking lineups right then. I just can't listen to that. That's been the reason I've won all year. I haven't made any dumb swaps after 11.
I'm gonna start muting Dave. He almost got me off the only good play I made, which was dwelling.
We said which I don't know exactly what happened, but I do. There's some 4 wide receiver talk here. I tried to guess your team, Nate.
You basically said, Sammy, your team is bad, and I said, I don't feel good about it. I think and I was right. I was right.
You didn't tell me.
How is it possible to play Jeff Driscoll and not CMC? That's
what I said. That's literally what I said. I was just like, I don't get how that's possible.
If you lose, I'm going to mock you so hard.
And you know what? I'm delivering on my promise.
I'm here holding up the L. I'm taking the L.
So Alvin Kamara, by the way, after seeing his workload, we are dumb fished for not. Alvin Kamara at 7.4K with 10 targets he should have been a lock, right? Like he's clearly the play over Jacobs, right?
Yeah, I mean he had 13 targets or 13 rushing attempts and 10 targets.
I mean Alvin Kamara with 23 touches in a game his team wins, you basically assume that's like 40. Right? I don't know. It just feels like he should have been.
You should just always play everybody against Tampa, I think is the secret to the season. That's what it is, right? You just play people against Tampa.
All right, I got a couple things for you guys for next week. So it seems like James Conner is probably not going to play next week against Cincinnati. They're at Cincinnati. Jalen Samuels is 7,200. Will you or will you not play him?
No. Easy.
There is no quarterback more expensive than 6,800 next week.
I guess
kind of interesting. Yeah, no Lamar, no Mahomes. Russell Wilson is the most expensive at 6,800. Dak at New England. Dak is now the QB2 in fantasy. He and Russell Wilson are actually tied. Dak 6,000 at New England off the board for you or interested? No, I mean Nate's just gonna
Jameis.
Nate's just gonna play Jameis. Jameis actually is the lock.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is so annoying. He's 6,200. He's 6,200 at Atlanta.
Fuck. It's not.
Oh God,
dude, in a dome, easy.
Yeah.
300 yards.
All right. Well.
This is going to be the game that Jameis throws 0 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Oh, hey, I have a lock for you, Sammy.
If you say Brian Hill, I'm.
No, hey, dude, bro, Jaden Graham at home to Tampa Bay, filling in for Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper, number 2 at tight end and Whopper. So Jaden Graham.
Oh yes. What did Graham do today?
He had 2 targets for 23 yards.
Is it weird that I'm becoming aroused right now?
I mean, Luke Stocker's even cheaper, 3,100.
Yeah, he only had 1 target. It's not a lot of Whopper.
Nate, are you done with Darren Waller?
No, I just couldn't get up to him this week.
I mean, like we now have to go back to week 3 for the last time he reached double-digit targets. He was out-targeted today by Hunter Renfrow.
Renfro's just fucking him. Renfrow, like, actually might be kind of good.
I mean, he still had a 25% target share this week, right? 24 something.
I don't know. So it's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
it's above my pay grade.
He had a 24.14% target share.
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, 3,900 at Buffalo.
That might be it, Chief.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Cameron Brate saw 14 targets with O.J. Howard benched. He's 3,600.
Yeah, he saw all the targets that Mike Evans should have had.
And Godwin. I mean, he just took everything.
I'm in a very deep dynasty league, 33-man rosters with the best DFS player in the world, Jeff Collins, and he dropped Cameron Brate this morning, and I picked him up. Like this league, like it's the craziest thing ever. Like Jeff had an Atlanta Falcons fullback on his roster for a week.
Gillcast, everybody. Nice to
I need to rag on Jeff for 3 seconds because he probably won like $250,000 today, and I was sitting there sweating out Tevin Coleman carries in the second half.
It was not a good day, bro. It was not a good day.
Who's better, Nate? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin?
Mike Evans.
What do we do if Tyler Lockett does not play in this game at Philadelphia?
The actual correct answer to that question, Nate, is whoever I don't play is better.
I mean, we still like Mike Evans still just like air yards just all over the field.
I'm so mad that I got to play Jameis next week.
You know what I could have done? I could have just dropped from Evans to Godwin, and then I would have had my extra 100, and I could have played CMC. And my family would still have a roof over its head.
Yeah. How about that?
You know? Anyway, I'm going to go find a nice bridge to stay under tonight. It's going to be great.
Odell Beckham, $7,000 at home to the Miami Dolphins?
Maybe in a GPP.
Such a Sammy answer.
Nick Chubb, 8,100 at home to the Miami Dolphins?
No.
Nate's like trying to fight his boner off right now?
No, Nate's off of him.
No, dude.
All the passing work now.
Yeah, I'm off of him now.
He got 27 carries against Pittsburgh, though. That's like Nate's love language.
I mean, I do like touches, and I do like making money from my running backs.
I mean, Nick Chubb leads the NFL in rushing yards, Nathaniel.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to talk about lineups this early, but
Nick Chubb had 1 target last week. Nate's not going to play him.
I doubt I do.
I mean, Nate played Josh Jacobs, who has like 18 targets on the year.
Yeah, the Josh Jacobs thing, I don't understand why Gruden punished him, but he still got 24 rushing attempts and 4 targets today.
Dude, Brian Hill didn't even get increased in price. He's 4,900.
Oh my God! I mean,
He played what? Like, I bet he probably played 65% of the snaps.
Brian Hill got cucked for a touchdown from some dude named Quadri Olison.
Who literally, dude, he's fatter than Leonard Fournette. He weighs like 255 pounds on his player profiler.
Davis, you can go back to D.D. Westbrook. He's only 4'6".
If he was 3K, I'd be pretty into it.
Value town.
Boyd's Boyd's at 5K. He's with Tate out.
Miles
Tate's out next week.
Miles Sanders is 5K flat. What if we just went full alpha and played Derrick Henry at home to Jacksonville for 6,900?
I mean, is it actually that different than playing Josh Jacobs today?
I mean, like literally we project on average, like some weeks Derrick Henry does not project for more than one target in our stuff. Like, so like it just depends on like the pace of the game. So it's like Jacobs normally at least projects for like 2.5. I don't know.
Yeah, but Henry, like, I don't know. Henry eats is the thing about Henry.
You know who I will literally never play again. I will never ever play David Montgomery ever again, and people are gonna tout him this week at home to the New York Giants. I'm
done with that too. I'm done with that. I'm done with Sanu. How much is Dwelly next week?
I think Kittle is. They're not on the main slate.
Tough scene.
Tough, yeah. It's a big loss for you.
Yeah.
You'll find a way to somehow simultaneously play the cheapest possible quarterback and the second most expensive running back, and not Christian McCaffrey.
I think what I'm going to do from now on is just like pick my tight end and then let Nate's program, his model, figure out the rest of my lineup for me. And that's what's going to win GPPs.
Apparently my hole is these tight ends. I mean, good God. I'm still tilted that Sammy made it with him.
I mean, here's the thing. Can't be that tilted because he did not make American.
Yeah, he didn't make it, I guess. Sammy, what did you end with? Did you beat Davis at least? Did you beat Davis at least?
I have no idea. I ended up with 118.
Davis?
He did not beat either iteration of my team, the Jacobs team or the Coleman swap team. It's pretty impressive stuff, Sammy.
You played Driscoll.
Driscoll and Dwelly.
I'm just RIP'd. I'm just so dead. I'm a zombie now. I'm just awful.
Well, boys,
this is probably the worst moment of my entire life. On this podcast with you two jackals.
So, I hope there's a podcast to come back to next week. I can't promise that if Nate wins and I lose again that I'll do it. But
if I can get a Wi-Fi connection from under the bridge, I will podcast again. I promise. I'm committed.
All right, we'll be back next week.